people are fuming. Those who believe that Donald Trump is right, that the election was stolen, are angry at Bill Barr because they claim that he said there was no evidence. He didn't say there was no evidence. He said he's not seen any widespread evidence of voter fraud yet. Now, this is a man, Bill Barr, who's had the president's back from day one. I think people have forgotten. He did the summary of the Mueller probe, suggested that the president had been vindicated, and he was attacked in the opinions of those who felt that Donald Trump, based upon the Mueller report, had engaged in collusion. He was attacked for, quote, mischaracterizing, close quote, the Mueller report. He even used the word spy that the president has used and said his campaign was, in fact, spied on. He was reamed by the left for that. He ordered remember when President Trump went to Lafayette Park and was accused of engaging in civil rights violations? He's the one who cleared it and defended law enforcement. He also felt that the sentencing for Roger Stone was excessive. And in early last month, he sent out a directive. Let me read part of it for you, because this really infuriated the left, infuriated CNN, infuriated the New York Times, infuriated MSNBC. And he said in this memo, probe voting irregularities. Normal protocol is to wait until the election has been certified. He said, no, don't wait. You hear any substantial allegations of fraud, pursue them now, to the point where the official who's normally in charge of investigating voter fraud resigned. He was so angry. And here's what the New York Times said. November 9 this year. Attorney General William Barr, wading into President Trump's unfounded accusations of widespread irregularities, told federal prosecutors on Monday they were allowed to investigate specific allegations of voter fraud before the results of the presidential race are certified. Barr's authorization prompted the DOJ official who oversees investigations of voter fraud, Roger Pilger, to step down from the post within hours, angry over the change in protocol. Barr's memo allows U.S. attorneys to bypass the career prosecutor and take their request to his office for approval, effectively weakening a key safeguard that prevents political interference in an election by the party in power, says the New York Times. Barr's director ignored the DOJ's long-standing policies intended to keep law enforcement from affecting the outcome of the election. It followed a move weeks before in which the department lifted a prohibition of voter fraud elections investigation before an election. Critics immediately condemned the memo as a political act that undermines the DOJ's typical independence from the White House. And then they quote a professor from University of Texas Law School. It would be problematic enough if Barr were reversing long-standing DOJ guidance that could presumably be handled at the state level. This is outrageous, he says. And here was a newscast about it.
The new efforts in the Trump administration to obstruct the Biden-Harris transition team.
CBS. Morning show.
The president-elect has been preparing for months to take power, but since President Trump will not admit defeat, he's being denied access to essential government resources.
This comes as Attorney General William Barr issues a new memo paving the way for prosecutors to investigate claims of voter fraud.
This was a big deal, a departure from normal protocol. And the only reason I think a lot of you are unaware of this is because a lot of you don't watch CBS or read New York Times, which I do, so you don't have to. So you're unaware of what a big deal this was, what a break in protocol this was, what a big deal it was inside the building, to the point where the guy that is normally in charge of investigating voter fraud resigned.
Even though none have been substantiated. Key Republicans like Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell are also supporting the president's refusal to concede. Paula Reed is at the White House. Paula, what's the Attorney General saying exactly?
Good morning, Anthony. Well, in this memo obtained by CBS News, the Attorney General is urging prosecutors to look into allegations of fraud.
That was just a few weeks ago, and now he's part of the deep state? Please.
But at this point, the Trump campaign has not provided any evidence of fraud. So the real impact of this memo is that it now allows the president to say the Justice Department is investigating. It allows him to continue to delay concession and undermine the trust in the outcome of this election.
Attorney General William Barr has given the president's unsubstantiated allegations of voter fraud a boost by allowing prosecutors to go around longstanding policies to investigate allegations of fraud.
And here's what The Guardian says, quote, Barr has been one of the president's most ardent allies. Before the election, he repeatedly raised the notion that mail-in voting could be vulnerable to fraud during the coronavirus pandemic, as Americans feared going to the polls. Last month, Barr issued a directive to U.S. attorneys allowing them to pursue substantial allegations of voting irregularities before the election was certified, despite no evidence at the time of widespread fraud. The memo also gave prosecutors the ability to go around department policy. Soon after it was issued, the department's top elections crime official announced he would step down because of the memo. End of quote. So honestly, he's part of the deep state? Then everybody's part of the deep state. It's like the Black Lives Matter referring to the left-wing mayor of L.A. as a liberal white supremacist. I mean, really? So Barr now is part of the deep state. 2004, New York Times. Fight goes on. Kerry concedes, but the fight goes on. All about Kerry's allegation, the Democrats' allegations of, wait for it, voting irregularities, especially in Ohio. Mr. Supporters honed in on still uncounted provisional ballots in Ohio. Kerry supporters pinned their hopes on making sure that every ballot was counted and illegitimate ones not. This is again, New York Times. And he did concede, but then privately said that he believes that the election was stolen.
America, it is vital that every vote count and that every vote be counted.
This is Kerry, November 3, election night, 2004.
But the outcome should be decided by voters, not a protracted legal process. I would not give up this fight if there was a chance that we would prevail. But
I would not give up the fight if there was a chance that we could prevail. Even Fareed Zakaria said that Donald Trump had a legal path to getting this thing into the House of Representatives, and if that happened, he could end up retaining office. So John Kerry is saying in 2004 he'd keep fighting if there was a chance, a legal path for victory. There's way more evidence of voter fraud this time than that time, and you want Donald Trump to throw in the hat? It doesn't work that way.
If there was a chance that we would prevail. But it is now clear that even when all the provisional ballots are counted, which they will be, there won't be enough outstanding votes for us to be able to win Ohio. And therefore, we cannot win this election.
People were stunned. John Kerry had promised to challenge the machines and amassed a network of lawyers to protect the votes. And then, Kerry stopped any investigation by conceding, less than 12 hours after the polls had closed. Cliff Arnebeck, an Ohio election attorney, spoke with John Kerry shortly after.
A call from Senator Kerry comes into the hotel room, which a group of us are there meeting with Reverend Jackson.
And Kerry proceeds to say he believes that the election was fraud. By the way, in that article last month, early, New York Times, quote, he has said that he did not see massive fraud. He already said it. He already said he hadn't seen massive fraud. He said it a couple of days ago. Oh, my God, he's saying there's no fraud. He made the same statement weeks ago. Where were you?